So it's time for another episode of the Nerdy Virgin podcast. There, look at me getting the title right. Isn't that fantastic? It's time for another episode of this Nerdy Virgin podcast. I got the title right. I'm beginning to feel a little bit more relaxed about where I'm living. I've been worried that when I record all these TikTok videos and I record the podcast in here, and I'm just paranoid that I'm aggravating the neighbor. And a couple of days ago, he said, "Hey, I noticed you have this package on your front porch. You haven't moved it in a couple of days. I was getting worried about you. I thought, is everything okay?" And this whole time I'm thinking I'm being too loud. Turns out he thought that I was dead. So I think I can relax a little bit and not have to worry so much about volume. I'm going to go ahead and make that assumption. I'm also beginning to see why I have insomnia. It's almost midnight. I've eaten almost an entire bag of marshmallows, and I've had 2 cups of green tea with caffeine. So perhaps insomnia is the wrong word. I think a more accurate word would be idiot. I think that would be a more apt description. Still dealing with this issue where my computer will crash every so often, so I'm trying to only record kind of in chunks, click save, and then continue. And hopefully you're not going to hear any difference. Watch, every time I do that, there's this weird sound. That wasn't me cutting, by the way. That was just a pause. That was just a pause in me thinking about what to talk about. What should I talk about? What have I talked about in... I guess another thing I could do is that, I ramble for, 3 minutes at a time on TikTok. I guess I could just, go over some of those things, because that it's entirely possible that there are people who are watching the TikToks but not listening to the podcast, and people who are listening to the podcast and not watching the TikToks. Perhaps I could recycle the material from one to the other, and maybe that would be okay. Maybe the universe would afford me that right. But then there's a part of me that says, can't I be better? Can't I provide different content on different platforms to the point where people are sitting there going, how can he be this mediocre over this many platforms? How can he have this many unfinished ideas across multiple platforms? Goodness gracious. So, yeah, I'm a bit tired. Have not been sleeping well, perhaps due to the aforementioned dietary issues. Or rather, dietary choices that lead to bodily fluid issues. Okay, this is getting gross. And there I'm smacking my lips again. So what's my goal with this? I mean, I've been going through a bit of an existential crisis where I've been, fortunate enough, knock on wood, to, be getting back up on stage and performing. And I'm finding that when I'm happiest is when I am discovering that the new joke works. And whenever I am going up there and I'm saying to myself, okay, now I need to do a final set. Now I need to, do the final draft, basically, where it's the tightest possible joke structure, I can make it. I feel just off. That it doesn't feel gratifying. Now I think when I do my tight 5 or my tight 10, which, by the way, all of which could be tighter, when it is tight and I'm connecting with the audience, there's a number of laughs per minute and people seem to be enjoying it. And that is sort of the aim of doing this. But I guess there's and I've heard people say, well, Josh, it's not about you. It's about them enjoying it, and as long as they're enjoying it, no one cares how you feel. But I can't help but wonder if there's it's almost like, here's a way, I think Richard Lewis was talking about how when he got to the point where he was no longer afraid to be on stage, he missed the panic. And maybe there's a little part of me that if it gets too rote and too easy, I miss the panic. So there's something about coming up with stuff in the moment that is surprisingly rewarding. It's kind of like, I feel that way sometimes with this podcast. That's, I think, what I love about this podcast are the moments where I'm coming up with something in the moment of this podcast. So maybe the real issue is that I think, my first love is writing in a way, and having to execute the material. I've always struggled with that a bit more, and with, okay, well, it's Sunday night, 9 p.m., I don't feel like this, but I got to do the job. And I think I'm also so obsessed with the future and with where am I going and trying to predict it and control it that I'm not paying attention with where I am. And just being in the now and having dreams, which is, as I've said before, the dream is that I eventually would want to sell out, at least small clubs or venues and, make a living doing this. And now I need to maybe let go of the anxiety around that, focus on the concrete steps that I need to take to get to that point, but also not give up on the dream, but let go of obsessing over it and just do the work. And this all sounds very logical, and it all sounds brilliant and measured. And when I sit down to go and do it, well, either I don't sit down to go and do it, or I do sit down to go and do it, and then just panic comes over me. Now, ultimately, the purpose of this podcast is to be funny. Probably not a good idea to record it at 11:56 p.m. after a sleepless night. And I'm smacking my lips again, which always bothers me. I got to stop that. But I want to get better about posting these on time, and my day to do it usually is Monday. So I want to get this done so I can post it early Tuesday morning and only be a little bit late instead of a lot late. Also noticing that what's starting to happen is that as I articulate what I think my problem is, I can hear how obvious the solution is, and I was watching that movie, The Legend of Bagger Vance, based on the Bhagavad Gita. And I found it very moving and inspiring because the whole, and it's the notion, keep playing the game is sort of the message. Don't give up, keep playing the game. Now he's talking about golf, but the metaphor is life. Keep going. So I felt inspired by watching that to keep going. And I think that, the other thing in the movies that he's talking about, everyone's got to find their swing. Everyone has a swing that they have to find. It's their authentic swing. That's what he kept saying. And I found my swing, and it is my authentic swing in that it was such a bad swing, it led me to theater. So that was my authentic swing was, I'll do this if it's in a play, but I don't want to really do this. I don't want to really play golf. It was so authentic, it led me to not swinging anymore. But I was inspired by that. And I think I was, the other thing that's inspired me is I have to be honest about how I feel. I have to tell the truth. I have to be truthful to myself. I need to be truthful in this podcast. I need to, and if I just tell the truth, then I will probably be okay. The truth will set you free. Well, like, for example, I'm sure there was somebody who was standing standing in Pompeii when Mount Vesuvius explodes and the lava's flying down the side of the mountain. And it really doesn't matter how truthful you are. In that moment, it matters more how quick you are. I can't stare down the lava and say, what I really want to do is direct. That's my personal truth. That's not going to stop the lava. Or is it? Maybe will is stronger than I thought. All right, well, let's look to movie news, shall we? Is Epic considering a Fortnite movie? With a potential movie based on the hit video game Fortnite. Okay, a movie based on Fortnite. Okay. Oh, by the way, that sound was the sound of my screen door slamming against the door because whoever installed the doors put the screen door knob flush with the inner door knob. So if one is closed, the other cannot be closed. So when it's windy, the screen door just flies all over the place. It's a problematic design, I think. In fact, when I'm looking at it, I think what they used to do is they had the inner door locks lower. So that's fun. So every now and then I'll just hear this bang, which sounds like somebody's trying to break into the house, and that I'm sure that'll help me with sleep. But back to this. Okay, so what is Fortnite? I'm going to Wikipedia for it because I hear about it and I don't know anything about it. Okay, online video game developed by Epic Games. Game modes. A player versus environment cooperative game with 4 players collaborating towards a common objective on various missions. The game is set after a fluke storm appears across Earth, causing 98% of the population to disappear, and the survivors to be attacked by zombie-like husks. The players take the role of commanders of home-based shelters, collecting resources, saving survivors, and defending equipment that helps to either collect data on the storm or push back the storm. For missions, players are rewarded a number of in-game items, which include hero characters, weapon and trap schematics, and survivors, all of which can be leveled up through gained experience to improve their attributes. Boy, is this a game or is this politics? Wow, this is pretty intense. These games are becoming so immersive. I'm beginning to. I don't know. I don't know how much I can jump in. I feel like, well, now in this part of Fortnite, what we're going to need to do is we want to add an extension to our house, so we're going to need to get a permit. So I'm going to take my giant mech suit warrior and he's got to fly to the downtown area and to the Capitol building, and he's got to get a form. He's got to write out just how big of the addition to the house we want it to be, and then he's got to get approval from the 3 wizards who approve this. And each one of the wizards is being controlled by, 12-year-olds in Springfield, Illinois. I just feel like one day in the not-too-distant future, I'm going to walk into somebody's room and say, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm playing a video game." "Oh, well, how does it work?" "It's just not right now. I got to focus on filling out this loan application." What, in the game? I don't know. I think it's getting a little much. Makes me long for the simplicity of Pong. Or for me, actually, the simplicity of Doom. That's what I like. The original Doom, you have weapons. There's monsters coming at you. You got to get through the monsters to get to the end of the level. It's pretty cut and dry. Fortnite. All right, well, that's neat. Okay, what's this article? Disney Plus will overtake Netflix sometime in the year 2025. But what do they mean by overtake? Oh, the number of subscribers. Disney will likely add up to 140 million subscribers over the next 5 years, heavily fueled by numbers from the company's Hotstar brand in Asian markets. The report indicates by 2026, 3 platforms will control nearly half the world's SVOD subscriptions. Those: Disney, Netflix, Amazon Prime. Huh. All right, so Netflix, Disney, Amazon Prime are going to be the top 3. So you do whatever you will with that information. Do I have an Amazon Prime account? I think I do. I can't remember. Wow. That's just... The Amazon Prime one is really mind-boggling, because I never thought, pretty soon Amazon will be responsible for giving me everything: food, clothes, movies, television. I think just one day there's going to be a giant box on top of wherever I'm living that has Amazon written on it, and just there's a bunch of tubes that are going to come from that box. And one tube is what I drink out of. The other tube is what I eat out of. A tube and a trough from Amazon. And that's where we're going. Like I have a feeling that in the Matrix movies, when you see them plugged into the Matrix, and you see all those tubes being plugged into them, into each vertebrae, there's a tube. My guess is that one of them is the Amazon tube, the other one's the Netflix tube, the other one's the HBO Max tube. I think that's the direction we're headed at this point. Oh, okay. Will Poulter has scored the key role of famed Marvel character Adam Warlock. Oh. A genetically perfect, immortal cosmic being with every superpower. Oh, well, okay. That's good. I don't know too much about, other than the movies, I don't know much about the Guardian of the Galaxy comics. But I think that's an example of a superhero with kind of a normal first name and a pretty epic last name. Adam Warlock. I think Warlock would have been enough. But I like the Adam. Have you met my friend Jason Superman? I have not. Here's Tim Batman. I'll buy that for $1. I like that. All right. Well, that's good, right? Adam Warlock. Okay. CBS's new freshman dramas, NCIS Hawaii and FBI International. Is that every drama now is just the name of the drama is the governmental department? Our new drama on CBS, FDIC. FDIC Cleveland. You seen our new drama? DMV, Oklahoma City. I don't think he can read the bottom line of the eye chart. DMV, Oklahoma City. Yeah, that's the name of every show on CBS now. It's just the name of the department, the name of the government department, where they operate. These aren't names. These are addresses. This isn't the name of a show. This is an address. NCIS, 4231 East Linvale Place, Los Angeles, California, 90026. That's what they're doing. They're looking at addresses and they're just building the show off of the address. And going, what's in the building? LASIK Surgery Center, 264 Mark 8 Bilson Avenue, Burbank, California. That's great. I'm looking forward to housing and urban development, Nome, Alaska. I'm looking forward to see what the HUD team comes up with in the episode where they talk about the difference between a condo and a townhouse on CBS. Squid Game. So everyone is talking about Squid Game. I've not seen Squid Game. Good news is if people keep talking about Squid Game as much as they are talking about Squid Game, I will not need to see Squid Game because I will have basically gotten the idea of it. So please, by all means, keep talking about Squid Game. 2 more hours, I will never need to watch the show. Appreciate it. Okay, what's this Alex Rider? The action teenage spy series Alex Rider. Second season picks up with a shaken Alex trying to return to a normal life. When his close friend's father is attacked, he's pulled back into the world of espionage and goes head-on with tech billionaire Damian Cray. Toby Stevens. Okay, so he's a teen spy. Fantastic. Because what could be better than combining teen angst, depression, loneliness and alienation with post-traumatic stress disorder and PTSD. Perfect. And it almost sounds like they want to make this gritty and real, so things have real world consequences. So it's not even really a fantasy. It's just, I'm just watching a show that's about a bunch of different psychological profiles all meshed up into one. I've never seen the show. I'm sure the show is fantastic. I'm just responding to what I'm seeing in front of me here. Animaniacs has another season on Hulu. Yet another thing I got to subscribe to, I guess. And they're doing, it looks like doing a Thundercats parody which is, of course, fantastic. And I will not say anything negative about Animaniacs. Animaniacs is genius. I am on board. And we're going to get another Nash Bridges. Oh, wow. See, USA Network. Here's why USA Network. Here's why they're Mavericks. Their show Nash Bridges. They only included the name part of the address. If this was on CBS, it wouldn't be called Nash Bridges. It would be called San Francisco Police Department, 2864 San Francisco Avenue, San Francisco, California, 90018. All right. Tickets have gone on sale for Marvel's Eternals film 3 weeks out from the film's release. In addition, they're talking about how they made the movie. They used as little green screen as possible and shot on location. And she's bringing her signature long takes into play. So we can expect the length of the film's shots to run far longer than the MCU standard. Shots are longer. We use wide-angle lenses and deep focus. It's about giving the audiences the space and the time to be able to explore what's within the frame and therefore come to their own conclusion of the relationship between the characters and the space they're in. That sounds great. I know absolutely nothing about this comic. The only thing I can tell from the pictures is, okay, seems like some of them are going to go with capes and some of them are not going to go with capes. And that's, I got to be honest, that's one thing that's bugged me a little bit about the Marvel Universe is that they really have stepped away from capes. And I've seen the first Incredibles movie. I understand the argument against capes. It's a perfectly valid argument. Makes a lot of sense. It is very not probably the best article of clothing to use when in a combat situation. Case in point, inevitably, once every 3 Batman cartoons, somebody grabs the cape and throws him across the room. Nevertheless, I got to go with the cape. I always have got to go with the cape. There's something about the cape. It's another thing that inspires confidence. When you're wearing the cape, you're saying to the world, I know what it looks like I'm going to get this caught on a corner, but I am so confident that even if I do get this caught on a corner, we'll be okay. I have that much confidence. I have that much confidence in my abilities that I'm going to wear an article of clothing that will, at every conceivable moment, impede my progress. All right. Where are we at? I think this feels good. This feels right. I think we're at about 30 minutes, right? This is good.